Hey everyone, it's Guardian Fury here. I wanted to talk about a topic that is often something I think about, and this morning was on my heart, and it's the subject of whether or not something is a blessing or a curse, or how it can be both, and how our perceptions, our perspectives over time can change, and something that you felt was a curse can eventually become a blessing. And of course, if some of you have paid attention to to me or watched some of my videos or whatever the right word is, to those of you that have an idea of who I am after seeing me on these videos, then I think it's pretty easy to say that I could view a lot of my life as a curse, and the baggage that comes along with that, the demons that I have, that I struggle with, if you will, metaphorically, uh, because from my childhood, there's definitely repercussions of what happened to me. There's stuff I'm going to struggle with. Uh, there's two options from what I see anyway. It seems that when you go through that extreme abuse, that extreme rape, and being beaten for a decade as a child, it seems like there's two things that I've noticed that seem to usually happen. Um, either you become someone that is the kind of afraid of everything and just subdued and just given up, or like in my case, it made me more of a fighter, more animalistic, more like I wasn't going to let what happened to me happen to others. I wasn't going to become the evil done to me. I was going to stand up and fight. And that's why I went in the military. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And it's been interesting in my life that I think I've been able to have some understanding of others, um, and there seems to be, for some reason, some people seem to be drawn to me when I talk to them. Even when I was still a Jehovah's Witness before I left, there was people I'd go back and see, and they would tell me how I was their only friend, or thank me just for coming by and listening. And so a lot of the times on a lot of my return visits, I wasn't even pushing the JW agenda. I wasn't pushing the Bible. I was just being there for them on a lot of these. And I was always, for those calls, I always had to be careful who I brought with me, because I knew that if I brought like a certain elder with me to that door or something, that they would tell me that I needed to be pushing the JW literature, because that happened to me, and so as a kid, I became very aware of who I could trust and who I couldn't, because I'm just was trying to follow what the Bible said about it at that time, and it didn't often match up with what I was being told by some of the so-called spiritual shepherds in the congregation. So look back on when I left the Jehovah's Witnesses at 16, and it was really weird. For at least the first year I was out, I definitely struggled, as I'm sure is common with all of you. It's a struggle. It's not easy. And one of the weird things, though, is I also was at a place of peace. A weird, sorry, I got an itch. A weird combination of being at peace, but also not, because I was still in the mindset that I was possibly going to be killed because I left, even though I knew it wasn't true. But when you're raised with those things drilled into your head on a daily basis, it will affect you, right? And it was weird. Like, I'd go, and I moved in with my birth father and my stepmother, and they were a godsend for me. I would have been on the streets otherwise. And And I mentioned some of that in one of my videos months and months ago. A lot of times we'd say go to a mall or something, or just go out and about. And when I was with my father and stepmother, oftentimes it would there would be like little kids would be in their strollers, you know, and they would hang out the sides of their strollers to look at me, which was always weird. Then other times I was with people that I started making friends with in high school, and random people would come up to me and just talk to me and tell me that they felt something and they just wanted to come and talk to me for a minute. It was really really strange. And then my whole life I've also had some type of empathic ability of some sort, or like known things. I'm not sure what the right term is for it. Like yesterday when I felt prompted to go to the airport, and I think I was being prompted to go there to give that lady some comfort. And stuff like that has happened my whole life. Again, like I mentioned in Iraq, that's what kept me alive, is just knowing things I shouldn't have known. And I also see a bad side. Like I don't like going to crowded areas, not only because of the military side of things, but also because I see a lot of people that instantly I know aren't good people. Like they have some evil there. And it sometimes knowing things or feeling things, it feels like a curse a lot of times. And I've met a few other people like myself, and there's been times where this one time I was sitting at a table and someone that was listening to me and this guy discuss it, they said, wow, that's such a blessing that you have that. Because it's always been hard for people to believe me. And then that one night there was someone else that everyone also trusted, and both of us were talking about this, and it manifests slightly different in me and him, but it's basically the same thing. And it was really interesting because this one lady says, wow, that's such a blessing. And both of us, both me and him, kind of put our heads down a little bit, and at the same time said, most of the time it feels like a curse. But yet I'm using that same thing now to try to help people, right? So depending on your perspective, how you view it, where you're at in life. Sometimes something that feels like a curse can also be a blessing, because I've also been able to help people. Like I've had people come up to me, and like other rape victims that I don't even know have come up to me and shared their story, and I just was able to give them a little bit of comfort and maybe point them in a direction where they could get some help. And that's happened on a number of occasions, and without me prompting it a number of times too. Like it's really crazy to me. And I probably sound a little bit crazy even saying it. I know probably a lot of you aren't going to believe me, and you know that's fine. But because sometimes I have a hard time believing it, you know. And then even my childhood, my experience with all that, like of course a lot of my life that's felt like a curse, you know, like it, you know, it wasn't fun, and it definitely has long-lasting detrimental side effects. But then I look at the last few years in particular, and I've been able to turn this curse, this thing, this evil, I've been able to use it to help so many other people. And it's helped me to understand people and have some empathy for people when they're going through stuff. And even the JW side of things, yeah, being raised a JW feels like a curse most of the time. But what if I'm able to plant a seed that helps someone else get their freedom, right? So it can also be a blessing depending on your perspective and where you're at. Like right now, yes, it's a little bit of both, you know. It's always going to, I never wished for, I would always wish that stuff didn't happen to me, right? But all that evil didn't happen to me. But at the same time, now I'm in a position where I can maybe help someone else either have that not happen to them, or get someone out of that situation, or help someone after they've been through it. So I guess that's what I'm thinking of for today, is how can a blessing also be a curse? And to me, perspective is so big in life. Like I'm at my local church, my local body, not a building, obviously, but the people that I fellowship with, I'm helping to run to do a men's group there, and I've been trying to use my life as a springboard and other people to open up because of that, and it seems to be working. Like if we can be at a place of vulnerability, and that all it does is build trust with each other. And that's the thing, though, too, is sometimes with this stuff is you need to be willing to be hurt a little bit. You need to put yourself out there in order to help others. And that at this point in my life, that doesn't bother me because I've been through enough that I understand there's going to be some people that are going to hate on me for what I'm doing. And that's their choice, you know. That's what they want to do. Even it's funny, I've had a few, JW apologists on the comments lately, and they try to goad me. It seems like they're trying to goad me into something, and it's, I just hit them with some love on the messages, like, hey, they think they're gonna somehow bother me or somehow get under my skin. And one of them I wrote, hey, I really hope you never have to experience a life like mine. And I just put down, may God bless you. And I truly mean that, because I don't want other people to experience what I did. But also, as someone that's stuck in that mindset and that control that the JW organization / cult instills in you, I can also understand where he thinks he's trying to expose me and try to see who I am or try to show how horrible of a person I am. But it's because he's ignorant to what I'm doing. He's ignorant to who I am and where the perspective I'm coming from. And so it actually makes me smile a little bit when these people try to get aggressive with me, and I'm thinking, you can't say anything that's gonna bother me. Like, you live my life for a little while, and there's not someone trying to be a bully on the internet isn't gonna affect me one bit. It really does make me smile. So I just wanted to put that out there today, that perspective, and as you grow as a person, that sometimes those things that can feel like a curse in the present, you can use them as a blessing for others in the future. And because that is something I've experienced and has given me a sense of peace about my life. Another thing, I was listening to a song called The Arsonist Lullaby. I just want to share this real quick. And there's a verse that says, don't you ever tame your demons, always keep them on a leash. So don't you ever tame your demons, always keep them on a leash. And I love that. I love that verse in the song, because I think of it like, I don't want to be subdued and just I don't want to turn into some robot with no feeling, and that I look at my past and it's just this subdued version of me that isn't really me. But hold on to those demons, but use them in a good way. Let them keep control of them, yes, but use your life to be able to be in a position to help others is kind of how I see that. But also don't let darkness overtake you. Don't let those demons control you. You control them and you use them for good. That's I guess I'm done for now. It's like 14 and a half minutes of me rambling. So another beautiful day here in Virginia. And this is Guardian Fury. You guys have a good one.